All right, welcome to the New London 30-Minute Podcast. Today we're here with teacher and esports coach, Mr. Reid. Mr. Reid, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. So you're an esports coach.
I am.
Fairly new program,
Fairly
I
new.
believe.
Second year.
Second year. Successful?
Yeah.
How successful? 1 to 10 scale.
Scale from 1 to 10, I'd say it's about a 9.
It's pretty good. Why isn't it a 10 though?
Because it's not.
We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Question number one, for those who are viewing at home and don't know, what is esports?
Esports is basically just video games online done competitively against other schools in the state of Iowa.
I'm assuming the E means electronic.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. You got to clear these things up. Some people are they don't get some things, but how did esports come to New London?
Esports basically came to New London because I wanted to start, I like gaming, so I wanted to start some sort of club or something where kids could come after school and just play games. And as I was looking stuff up, I found out that there was an actual association in Iowa that had esports, so I reached out to them, figured out what we had to do, bada bing, bada boom. Now we're part of the whole Iowa Association stuff. So
it's the whole state.
Yep, and it's not sanctioned by the state like all the other sports are. We're still, I think it's the 4th or 5th year that they've been around, so we're still fairly new as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's the 4th or 5th year the whole thing's been around,
The
like
whole
esports?
association in the state of Iowa, yeah.
Okay, I see. And we've only been around for 2, you said?
2 years.
Okay, that's nice. So let me see. Because esports, I'm currently in. I haven't showed up for any of the games, but
No, but you're still part
I'm
of
still
esports.
a part of it. I'm more of a cheerleader or a mascot. I like to
Yeah.
consider myself.
Yeah, we'd say you're a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. What do we play? Like, what are the games that New London plays?
We currently compete in Smash Brothers, Rocket League, Overwatch, Smite, which is new this year, and what's the other one in the spring? Mario Kart. And then next year we're actually going to introduce Rainbow Six Siege, which I don't think anybody knew about except for the esports kids.
I didn't know, and I'm in it, so it's good. That's good to know. So what's the most successful game that what's the one that we've won the most or been the most successful in from last year last year I guess.
Looking at last year, it would have to be Smash Brothers because I think we had an undefeated season up until postseason.
And that wasn't because of me. I was on the team. I can say that I'm not very good.
You're pretty good.
I was still a cheerleader back then too. I'm head cheerleader now though.
Yeah, I'll give you head cheerleader rights.
Thank you. Do I get to dress up next time?
Sure.
Cool.
We'll get you pom-poms and everything.
So how it got started, you just wanted to.
First, I brought it up to Mumford because he's the tech guy and he has to get me through all the firewalls and stuff to bring in the stuff. So I brought it up to him. He said he's been wanting to start it but didn't want anything to do with it. He just wanted to be the background person.
Oh, because it's kind of like he didn't want to be. I don't think it's for losers, but he didn't want to be a loser.
He wanted to just have something there for the kids because he enjoyed gaming too.
I see.
So I said I'd be the face of it and help lead it all as long as he helped me get everything up and running. So we spent all of 2 years ago working on that, and then last year we introduced it and everything seemed to run smoothly with it.
Because I remember last year we still had a lot of issues with the Wi-Fi, the internet that we had specifically for the esports, how some days it just wouldn't work.
Yep, and that's all Nintendo with the Switch and their whole pickiness and stuff. So
is it working better this year?
Yeah, we haven't had a problem this year.
That's good, because last year I remember we had a lot of problems with it.
It was like every week we had a problem.
Well, I know last year we couldn't do any in person because of COVID, and I know this year we had, or the one I went to for a little bit, that we had. What school was it that came here?
We had Waco come here the first week, and then we went to Fairfield the next week, and we're actually going to Waco next week to play.
So yeah, because I remember last year it was all online, and you had to communicate over the what was it? Some sort of
It was
messaging
Slack,
thing.
but now we're on Discord.
Slack.
Yeah,
Slack. Like, is that like a knockoff Discord?
kind
or?
of. Yeah.
I see. Because, yeah, it wasn't very. I don't know how to say it. It wasn't very fun last year with all the. I mean, it was fun, but the technical stuff wasn't fun.
Yeah,
you know, just sitting around having to wait because
Yeah.
it was supposed to start at 4 or 4:30,
Something, yeah.
something like that, and we would always start at like 5, like an hour after.
Yeah, with all the technical issues we
Which
had,
is
yeah.
fine. I don't blame anybody for that except for Nintendo, which needs to get their stuff together, if you ask me. But it's my opinion. And how many other schools around here have esports programs?
Oh gosh,
Is it a lot?
it's a decent number. And we don't just compete because, like in normal sports, you compete in your
Like district or
districts, like
conference?
1A, 2A, whatever it is. We don't do that. So like we've played schools like Iowa City West, which is a 4A school. We've played Linn-Mar before, so we've played those bigger schools. And it's kind of neat to do that because you don't normally get to play against these guys in football or whatever it is. So playing against them in esports is kind of fun.
Yeah, because I remember because I'd never heard of most of the schools we played last year.
Yeah.
Because you know I know the schools around here like Mount Pleasant and the ones in Burlington, and then there were some that the football team played like 8 hours away.
Yeah, and I've
Not
been trying,
8, but a couple hours.
I've been trying to get other schools around here into it. Like I reached out to Danville, and they've said they're interested. I'm just waiting to hear back from them now. So
Was it hard to start the esports program, or was it
No.
fairly easy?
admin was pretty good about it. They had my back with it. They were supportive. The hardest part would have been getting all the computers and all the technical aspect sides of it done, and then of course buying the games because we don't have any money starting. So
Yeah.
we had to fundraise right away. We had to look at the free options, start there.
Yeah. Well, because I remember last year. Do you have one for esports now, like a Switch and games?
Or yeah, we have Mumford donated his Switch to us, so
Oh,
now we have
okay.
a school Switch.
Because I remember last year, like Sam or Aiden or somebody would bring in. We'd
we
just
still
do it on
have
that.
we still have somebody bringing in a Switch because we only have Mario Kart on the school Switch.
I
So
see.
hopefully at the end of the year we can get Smash Bros
the
on it
other-
too.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, that's right. So, because it's fairly new, right?
Yeah.
Esports as a concept, it's fairly new.
As a concept, yeah, it's
So-
fairly new.
But that's what I was wondering if administration was receptive to the idea of this new.
I had
thing
to
that hadn't really
I had to
been-
kind of explain it a bit, but they knew about it because it was new. It's on their radar. So once they understood what it was, how it would help the kids out, they were all on board trying to back me up with it. So
Because that's the thing. I didn't know because I thought it was cool, of course. Because
Yeah, 'cause,
I'd
I mean,
never heard of anything about that.
it
at our
brings
school.
together. It could bring like normal sports. You usually don't do co-sports. So this one brings together guys or girls, doesn't matter, playing the same sport. It might not be you're playing something that you don't traditionally play, but you might go home and play.
Yeah.
So why not do it for your school?
Yeah, it's cool because sports. Some people, obviously not the most physical people, don't want to do stuff. It's esports. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And I've had football players who want to do it. I've had everybody who's wanting to do it. So it's not just the people who don't do the other sports.
Yeah. And it's not a lot of time after school either.
No, we only practice for about an hour, and then depending on the match time, usually goes for about an hour, hour and a half. So it's not too bad of a commitment.
Yeah. What? Take the notes? I'm out of them, but that's fine. Here's the thing that I like esports. I like video games. I'm a modern teenager, like Mr. Reid himself here.
I'm a
He
grown
says he's
modern teenager. Yeah.
he says he's an adult. I don't believe him, but I don't. Anyways, what do you want from me?
Oh gosh, check your phone. I texted you.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
These fools. Oh, okay. What are your favorite games?
What are my favorite games?
Yeah.
I'm excited for Smite this year. I know when I first joined the association, I asked them because they had League of Legends, but then there became some issues with who League of Legends kind of sided with on like a national esports stage, and because they sided with a certain group, now they have rights to that, and if you want to play it, you have to pay a fee to play that in your own
Oh.
association. So we had to drop that, and we were looking for a replacement. So I brought up Smite because it's kind of the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
So they took that and ran with it. It's a free game, so it's easy for everyone to just pick up and go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that one this year.
Well, what is Smite for those who don't know? Because I have no clue because I've never played it.
Smite is basically it's a 5-on-5 match, kind of like League of Legends. The objective is to get your enemy's Titan killed.
So
And you have to fight through towers and fight other gods and stuff. Get through their minions.
mm-hmm. So you haven't had any trouble with getting enough people to do esports, right? Or have you?
Last year we had a Rocket League team, but then they fell through because they had to do some other stuff. But this year I think I'm going to have a Rocket League team because I've had enough people say that they're interested in it.
Because I remember for Smash we had plenty of people. And how many what is the minimum requirement? Like how does the system work of competing? Because sports is obviously 2 teams.
Right.
And there's 2 teams for esports, but how does it work? Like how
So
how do you decide
it's
who
a
wins?
little different because it depends on game to game. Like Smash Bros, it is 5v5, and each kid has 3 stocks. So the school has 15 stocks total. And what we as in like me and some other coaches have talked about is generally you want the 5 to fill your roster plus a couple to feel comfortable because you'll have subs and stuff. They'll cap you at whatever the minimum is to play. That again, so it's 5 for Smash, 5 more for sub. So I can only have 10 kids on the varsity roster.
Okay.
So I've never had to field a JV team because I've always had about the right amount of kids just for the varsity roster.
Yeah, because so Smash is, you said 10,
A max of 10
max
kids,
of
yeah.
10, and Smite you have to have a minimum 5 on
Minimum,
each team.
so it'd be max of 10 as well.
And I remember on the Overwatch team last year we had a lot of people.
Yeah, because Overwatch is 6v6, so I could have a maximum of 12 kids.
And I don't know, did we do good in Overwatch last year? I don't remember.
We were okay. I think we won 1 game.
I think that pretty much sums up a lot of our esports is okay, but
Yeah, but the whole point isn't to win. It's more of the communicating, the teamwork, the having fun after school kind
Yeah.
of thing.
and even so, sports builds skills like life skills.
Yeah.
What are there any skills that you would say esports helps to instill?
Well, yeah, you
like-
have to communicate in every game that you play. Even if it's Smash Brothers where it's just you playing. After the match, you sit down, you talk with your friends about what you did wrong, what you could do better. So there's that aspect of it. Team building, because you're trying to, kind of like all the other sports, you're trying to build a community, trying growing it, trying to figure out all this other stuff with your friends, because you're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So
So wait, so where, if you don't mind me asking, where did you go to school,
I went to school at Clark University
and where would that be?
up in Dubuque.
Up in Dubuque. And did they have anything of the sort, like
A couple years after I graduated there, they started a program. So I just missed it.
Yeah, I yes, a lot of. So esports really has just taken off in the past few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I would say within the last 10 years.
That's crazy. Because sports has always been around.
Right.
I can't believe they never thought about having video game teams compete until
Well, I
10
mean,
years ago.
they've had teams play because they have these big competitions for prize monies and stuff, but nothing with like schools.
Yeah, because they have like
That's the
tournaments
big thing that's
for
taken off.
Smash and
Yeah.
shooters and such, but they didn't think about the kids,
I guess not.
and they just started, and now we got esports programs everywhere.
Right.
It's the new hot thing. So
The new
if
hot
your
thing.
school doesn't have one, tell them to get one. So what's your just favorite game? Like what?
Probably Smite.
Smite?
I've put too many hours into that game.
Is there an exact number? Is it sad?
It's a sad number. Yeah.
So we don't want to hear it.
Probably not.
Just say the number.
Well, okay. So like, when you play Smite, you have the profile of like, it breaks down everything that you've done, and you have like certain levels that you gain and stuff. And so like, you start at 1. I think I'm 112.
When did you start playing? Do you remember?
5 years ago, whenever
Oh.
it first came out.
That's not bad. I've put like 1,200 hours into
Yeah,
a game
but-
before.
Yeah, I've probably spent more than that because that's all I really do on the weekends. I need to get out more, but
I thought you bowled.
that's Wednesdays.
That's Wednesdays.
That's Wednesdays.
So bowling is Wednesday. Smite is on the weekends.
Correct.
Is there some sort of? You should invent Smite bowling.
I don't even know how that would look.
Let me think about it. So there's 5 people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to dress up as the characters in Smite,
Sure.
and so you know the rules of bowling. You bowl, you hit
Yeah.
the pins.
Yeah.
You dress the pins up too as what do you have to defeat in Smite? The big thing, big guy, big Titan. Is what
Titan,
you
but
said?
there's only one Titan.
You make one big bowling pin. You make one big bowling pin. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not a good idea. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
But so I'm glad. I will say I'm glad I did esports because it did help me. It helped me, be better at video games, and it helped me be better at communicating in those video games.
Yeah, and I mean, we're always still looking for people to join. Our Overwatch, like our winter season, we'll do Overwatch and Rocket League, and we need signups by the beginning of November. So, I mean, if anyone still wants to play,
So
then you can just reach out to me, and I'll sign you up on the team, as long as you commit to it this year.
so it's easy. You just have to talk to you to get involved.
Yeah, just
That's
talk
it?
to me to get involved. I'll get you on the Discord server if you're really interested. So,
That sounds easy to me because and you had and I don't know. I think I heard some of the freshmen talking a couple weeks ago about how they got called for a meeting about it in esports. Like, did you pull them in, or because they were talking about how they didn't want to, or they wanted to, but I don't know. I heard something.
I had a couple freshmen who I heard through the grapevine that they wanted to join. And so I just decided, because I've heard that they were talking about joining, I just called them in one day and asked, do you guys want to do it? And they asked me some questions about it. They seemed interested. I explained what we practice and all that stuff, and they were like, sure, we'll do it.
So even if you're not good at the games or don't have access to them at
Right.
home, you can still do esports, right?
We
Like,
have
it's
we have
inclusive.
access, either the school or somebody in the group will have access to some of the games. So you don't even have to have the game. You don't even have to be good at the games. Just come out and play.
So as long as okay, so you don't have it at home. When do you practice?
We meet Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
And then depending on when the match is, that's usually a Tuesday or Thursday.
And how long do those last?
Depends on the game.
Depends on the game. So
Yeah, Smash Bros, the matches last about an hour.
how long do you practice?
About an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah. Overwatch is a little longer, so we practice for about an hour and a half. Matches take about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
So what's the one that you would, or so you still need people for Overwatch, or do you have enough people for?
I have
everything?
enough, but I could use more for like subs and
Subbing.
stuff. And even if I have enough, I can fit 12 on a varsity roster, and I could have 12 more on a JV roster.
Well, yeah, because I know that I haven't been able to go to the Smash games because I work
Yeah.
on Tuesdays because I keep forgetting to take them off. So you have to sub them out. And how many people are on the Smash team this year?
8, I believe, 8 or 9.
So if just a few people miss, you can't. What happens if you have 4? Can you just not do it?
If we have 4 or 1 less or whatever, we can still play, but we're just at that disadvantage of we don't have that 5th person.
Okay,
So we're already down a person.
So the rules, from what I'm understanding, are pretty lenient on how many people you have. Like if you don't have enough.
They have a cap. That's the main thing. But other than that, as long as you're below that, you can play.
Okay, so and practice. How long are the seasons? Does it depend on how good you do? Like
Fall is from August until mid-October, and then we're going into postseason, not next week, but the week after.
okay, and you're making it into the postseason.
We don't know.
Year?
Brackets come out next week.
Oh well, has the Smash team been doing good this year?
We've won 1.
How many have you played?
5 or 6.
Well,
It'd help if we had a 8th person there, 9th person.
see, well, I'm not very good, so that's the problem.
You're still there.
Well, I'm not good.
I have the
though.
option of subbing you in.
That's true. First game I played, I didn't do too bad.
Right.
And then I left, which I'm sorry about that. I'd like to apologize. But so esports started 5 years ago. So you, oh, shit. I should have made more notes. But I'm blanking. I spaced out.
Well, okay. What would, because you played a lot last year with us, which one did you enjoy most?
I'd say I probably enjoyed Overwatch the most.
Yeah,
Just because.
that's a popular one.
Well, the people that were in it mainly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the people that were in it, and at the time I enjoyed Overwatch. I don't anymore. I stopped playing it, but
Yeah.
and we did pretty good. I like that, and we had enough people that even if I was bad, which I was, I didn't have to play. I enjoyed playing, but there were good people who could play, so we actually did good.
Right.
And well, how many people do you have interested for the Overwatch team this year? Do you know? Like, do you have a head count?
I think I have 7 or 8. I have enough. I'll have a couple subs, but not a whole lot.
Because I remember last year, quite a few, maybe not quite a few, but a few of them were seniors. Of course.
Yeah,
So
we had like 3 or 4 seniors.
Yeah, and that was considering if you have 12 people, max.
We'll still be able to play with the same group. We just won't have as many subs. I know a couple new kids are interested, so hopefully we can get more, so I'll have more subs to play with.
Yeah, because I did Smash and Overwatch. I didn't do Rocket League because I've never played Rocket League, but Smash I would recommend doing esports if you have time.
Yeah.
Because it is fun, and plus you get to hang out with Mr. Reid. So.
And that's the best part.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Reid, it's been fun. And looks like this is the end of the New London 30-minute podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.